Scanning down wormhole sigs. Yay! That's going to be the subject today. This dude is, well, more or less always spending his time in some sort of shattered wormhole, either C1 to C3 or C13. Before starting to scan down signatures, the first thing I do is mark all of the signatures in the Pro Scanner window. I press Ctrl C, I minimize the game client and paste all of the signatures into Tripwire. Then I click the blue pop-up that says delete missing sigs. Then I mark all of the old signatures that I already have scanned down in the probe scanner window and select to hide the marked signatures. After that, the exciting work begins. We need to scan everything down that we haven't scanned down before. The probe formation I'm using is, well, it serves the same purpose as the pinpointing formation, but it's a slightly modified version, which is basically a cube formation, where the probes are positioned along all the 8 corners of a cube. I might do a separate video on how to create one of those, but I found it to work slightly better than the default pinpointing formation. Since people don't pop up in the local chats as soon as they enter systems in Wormhole, you have to rely on dscan to keep track of any other people in that wormhole. And since the main thing that will give your own position away is your scan probes, at least while you're cloaked, I usually try to stay within dscan range of my scan probes when I'm scanning down things in Wormhole. This way, if somebody enters the system through a wormhole that's close to the location where I'm currently scanning, I will hopefully see that he actually pops up on dscan, so I realize, oh, he might have realized I'm in here. When scanning down a signature, I usually start out with a scan range of 4 AU and try to position the probes in the middle between the center of the signature and the nearest planet. If there's multiple signatures around the same planet, it might actually be a better idea to just center the probes around the planet, since all of the signatures are within 4 AU of at least one of the planetary bodies. At the same time as I press the Analyze button, I also try to always push B to do an updated dscan to keep track of the people that's coming into the system. And after I got the first scan down, I then zoom into 1 AU range. I just do a updated scan, and after that one finishes, hopefully I get a single hit, and then I just do another recenter and move on to 0.25 AU. In this case though, I actually got it before that. As I mentioned before, if there's multiple signatures around the same planet, it might be a good idea to center around the planet. In this case, however, I figured I might as well center around the sun, because this seems to be all over the place. There's a bunch of planets close to the sun, so hopefully I get some sort of hit here. Now, the strongest signature I actually got a hit on is a 2-point signature, and in that case it's usually best idea to go for the point that is furthest away from the scan location where you were originally located. So in this case, the one that's furthest from the sun. Apart from the 2-pointer that I actually got now, I got one more signature that's a single point, so I move directly onto that, and I'm already at 1 AU scan range, so I don't have to do any zooming. This one actually turns out to be a little weaker signal, so I will have to move on to 0.25 AU after recentering the probes again. Depending on how good your scanning skills are, it might actually be a good idea not to zoom in 2 steps at the same time like I'm doing. This character has more or less maxed out scanning skills and also got co-ops trained to 5, which means I have very good scan pinpointing skills. For the third signature I got around the sun that actually turned out to be a circle. I do another probe at 4AU at the far end of the circle compared to the sun. After that I get a single hit and do the same zooming in and another probe. Now after this is more or less just repeating the same procedure over and over again, so I'm just going to speed the video up by 4 times and maybe let it run out. Well, we can talk about what you do after you scan everything down. If there's any wormholes, you might want to take them later after you've been logged out and logged in again, and yeah, might be a good idea to bookmark them. And of course copy all your signatures to Tripwire, and if you intend to run them in sites, you might as well remove them from Tripwire at once, so, well, nobody else can see that, oh, there's a relic site here, that might be interesting. Apart from this gameplay, I also recorded some gameplay where actually running the data and relic sites, and I might put up that a little later, but for now, I think that is all I have to say on this video. So, maybe I'll see you again in another video later.